What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Nonsense live stream. It's Yaga. How we doing today? Hot, but I hate talking about the weather because I don't want to be one of those assholes. What's going on? It's good to be on here, and it's been a fun week. And I've got an interesting topic. It's called consistency with your behaviors and actions. This is something that in my life I've worked on a lot, and I believe at times I wasn't applying it properly. And for me, I had to learn what that meant to be consistent. For example, people I think set themselves up for unrealistic expectations. I've done it where, say, you want to go join the gym and you get real gung-ho about it for like 2 weeks, maybe even a month, and you're just like, yeah, fucking in there, you're fire, like, gym, go, no matter what, tired, pain, I'm doing it. And then you get burnt out. Because you're doing, I believe, just the wrong approach to the whole thing. You have to be consistent in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish in order to get results, right? If you go to the gym after 2 weeks, and this has happened to me in life because I've been up and down on the scale and weight, so I'm just using this as an example, but you go to the gym in like 2 weeks, maybe even a month, and I think a lot of people, myself included, have done this where you're not seeing the results that you want, right? After just a couple of weeks in the gym, you're like, how come I'm not 30 pounds lighter? How come my muscles aren't big after lifting for about 5 minutes? What's going on? Consistency, right? Because you haven't consistently been doing that long enough to get the results. You want it like that. And this is a problem across the board for Western civilization, especially in America. People just want fucking results. The fucking filters on the face with your Snapchats and all this other shit, but they don't want to put in the actual time to get where you need to be. Okay. Now, for me, I've done that. When I was much younger, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to work out. And then I'd work out and be on it for like 2 weeks. Except the only thing I was really consistent on when I was like 19, 20 was I used to run 3 miles every other day. And I did that for at least a year. A year or so. So that's pretty consistent. That's a decent amount of time, right? When you just do stuff for like a few weeks a month, that's not consistency. You have to expand it beyond that, right? It's like if people go to therapy and they went to one session and they're like, yeah, I don't think therapy's working for me. Fuck it. I'm not going to go anymore. And it's like, dude, you didn't even, like, what did you expect after one session? You have to be there for a while, several months at least, in order to see some kind of result in yourself. Also, it's not just the therapist isn't going to fix your problems. They're going to maybe suggest things that you need to do. And are you willing to do those things? So it comes down to willingness on your part too. Let's go back to the workout stuff, right? So for me, over the years, I slowly tapered off shitty food and better eating. So I began to change my diet, right? And then a year ago in April of 2018, I finally became willing to lift weights again, and not a lot. I'm not a gym guy. I don't want to join the fucking gym and go there for 2-3 hours. I hate that shit. It's ridiculous. And I'm honest with myself about that. I know I'm not that guy and I don't want to be. But I wanted to strengthen up my arms and get a little tone here and just be toned. That's all I wanted to do was strengthen up a little bit and tone. I don't need to become a gorilla. I don't give a shit. So I go, what am I willing to do? Because it's not just going to happen. You have to do something. So I'll do 30 minutes, right, of lightweight lifting. And I've just got some 25 pounders, and I got some 10 pounders, and that's it. So I do a couple different routines consistently for 30 minutes. And I was doing it like every day, take a day off here or two for that, but just 30 minutes. And that was it, 30 minutes. And usually in the morning or at least some point during the day, because I found for me, it's better to do it right away. And I never wanted to do it. I don't think anybody likes lifting heavy shit for fun. And if you do, you're out of your fucking mind. So 30 minutes. And then slowly, like as the months progressed, I started to see the change. Like, my face used to be a lot wider. And if you don't believe me, just go look at my early YouTube videos. I was fucking fat. I'm not going to sit here and glorify it or sugarcoat it. No, I was fat as shit. I was a pudgy little guy, and I was 70 pounds heavier. I always had like the wider thing. Like, I was thinner, but I never could lose this. And I just started being consistent with the weightlifting, right? And 30 minutes. That's it. That's all I was willing to do. And even to this day, that's all I'm willing to do. I don't want to work out longer than 30 minutes. I don't even call it working out. I call it just kind of staying in shape. You know, it's enough to get the heart and blood flowing, and it's keeps my tone, right? That's all I wanted to do. That's the goal. And I achieved that goal because I was consistent. And I didn't expect that a month or 2 or even 3 was I going to get the results that I wanted. But after a little while, like say 4 months or so into doing it, I could see the results. And I'm still consistent. I'm not as consistent as I was like the first 6-7 months of doing it, but I'm still do it several times a week just because I'm like, I want to maintain this, right? But I'm not, I hate, if we were just farming in a field, we wouldn't need to go to exercise or gyms, but we have such fucking computer type jobs that require us to get like actual physical stuff, to be healthy. So, and also with consistency, you'll see those results in your own, whatever it is you put your mind to, right? But also, if you're consistent in your actions and behaviors, this also is a key thing to build trust and people actually wanting to talk to you as a person. If you're one of those people, and I'm guilty of this too, who used to say a bunch of shit, but not do it just to look good or not follow through with what I said. And that's one of the biggest things of consistency that I found that works really well is I do the things I say I'm going to do for the most part. I mean, I'm pretty on it today. And I don't talk about shit, or at least I try not to, until I've done it. So then I can tell you what happened instead of, you know what I really want to do? The thing I talk about all the time is I want to go take my road trip down Route 66, right? I talk about it. It's not in the works yet, right? And it won't. I want to do it at some point. So this is something I haven't accomplished yet, but I have to do what I'm willing to do to get there, right? I'm not willing yet. And that's just me being honest with myself. But it is something that I want to do eventually, right? But other than that, when it's like, I want to lose 10 pounds, it's like, I wish I could just, I wish I had what you had. I'm like, that's because you're not willing to do it. You got to be honest with yourself about what you're willing to put energy into, right? And I think the big problem people have when they don't get the results they want is because they are being unrealistic with themselves. They are setting way too high of an expectation for whatever it is they're engaging in, and they're not putting in enough time or effort. And I know people that are inconsistent as fuck. And I call them out on it, and they're just like, yeah. Well, I'm like, what do you expect? And being consistent with your actions allows people to trust you too. If you're constantly a person who's a flip-flopper, just doing shit, like say you're going to do something, don't do something, just back and forth, nobody's going to trust you. Nobody's going to believe a word you say. And nobody's going to want to be around that because we have our own bullshit. We don't need others, right? I don't. I have to work on my own shit. So I have to be consistent with what I'm going to do. I say I'm going to be on time, I'm going to be on time, right? Consistency of being on time. And then you have a track record of, well, Yaga, he's always on time. Then people don't have to worry about it. You build a reputation based on your actions, people. It's not by your words. There's that great quote that I have by Henry Ford that says, you can't build a reputation on things you're going to do. You got to do them. And, most people don't get there because one, they're not willing to do what it takes to get there and put in that time and energy. Two, they're not being consistent enough to get any kind of result, or they just jump the gun. And, I started taking this oil and I feel wonderful after 5 seconds of using it. Like there's no consistency there, I started to feel really good last year when I started to just eat a steak like almost every day. When I started to do the weightlifting thing back last April, I started to also eat. I would fry up a steak, a sirloin or strip steak or something, just in a pan of butter. Just brown the butter, medium rare, little seasoning, that, eggs. And I had a steak almost every day for 6 to 7 straight months. I was very consistent about it. I was like, I'm eating breakfast every day, no matter what, for 6 straight months. I felt the best ever because of that diet. I think, in my humble opinion, that eating rare meat is better for you, because I look at it like animals eat raw and kill each other all the time. Human beings are the only species that cooks food. Think about that. But I consistently ate steak for 6, 7 months straight, and I felt so much better. So much better. And I was consistent about eating it every day. I didn't try to skip it. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I need the protein and all this stuff. Plus, I'm trying to tone up a little bit too. And I listened to my body. There's a million fucking things on the internet of diets and workouts and this and trap. And I just listening to my body that tells me what's okay and what's not. If this hurts, I'm like, I'm done. I pulled like a muscle in my bicep, I remember, and it hurt. And I was like, well, no lifting for me. And I would try, be like, nope, I have to wait till that heals and the pain goes away before I even do, because I don't really want to get hurt, because I'm smart. Some people are like, I don't give a shit if it's torn, I'm gonna go. Fucking idiots. But and another thing about, if you commit to something, don't back out after 1 or 2 things of it doing. Just go through it, man. If you're gonna go all the way. Otherwise, don't even try. Thank you, Charles Bukowski. Because it's true. It's like, if you're going to do something, fucking do it. Don't just be one of those fucking people that are like, I did it just to say I did it. Oh, God. Terrible human. I just saying this because I know from my own experience, I've been this way. I am this way, but I've practiced to seriously not be. And, forming good habits, it's a consistent thing, man. You can't just do something several times and it's like, oh, well, that's not working for me. I'm like, how do you know? You have to see it through. And by seeing it through, you have to go as far as you can take it until it becomes ridiculous. And then you can't take it anymore. My best friend is fucking amazing at starting businesses, but not following through with them. But he has a million ideas. He takes the effort, puts in all the work, but then doesn't follow through. And I never understood it. Like, why are you investing in this shit if you're not following through and you just bail before it even launches? It's so weird to me. How are you going to know if it's successful or not if you don't go all the way? You got to go all the way. Whatever that looks like for you, folks. If you're going to decide you want to, waste time going to college, getting a degree, you got to go all the way. You got to get ready for that $100,000 of debt that you can't pay back. You got to be prepared that job may not be there. But if you're going to do it, go all the way. Again, if you're consistent with your actions, because words are shit. Words are shit. They are. You could talk a lot. And this is why I try not to speak on. This is why I'm talking about what I did a year ago, because I did it. It's over. I have something to give back to people where I can tell you from my experience what I did, how I did it and all this, and where I at and how I became this because of that. I had consistent stuff, but I didn't just, the first week go, I'm working out, I'm so much better. I hate that shit. And I've been that way, I'm in my own life. I've learned that, and people compliment me on how I look, because honestly, folks, I'm in the best shape of my life by far now at almost 35. than I ever was at 20, 19, 18, whatever. And I was eating healthy and working out back then. But, people comment, you look at them like, I didn't do it. But I was doing it for the wrong reasons too when I was young. I was doing it for, attracting women, and wanting to look good and feel good. Now I just do it because I like being healthy. I like being sober in my mind, sober in my body. It feels great. I don't know. And here I'm thinking it was the other way around. Nope. Opposite world. And it takes great discipline to be consistent. And if you lack discipline, it's going to be harder for you to get some consistency because you lack discipline in areas of your life. And I'm not disciplined in all areas of my life. I'm not, because I'm honest with myself about what I need to work on, what I can work on, and what I still need to do. Right. But discipline, to be consistent, discipline, and form a good habit, man. But you just have to figure out what it is. It's worth your time to give that consistent energy to. And I know it sucks, but this is the honest thing you have to tell yourself is like, what are you willing to do? And try to break it down in like a 24-hour period. Like, what am I willing to do today to get to that goal? Like, if my goal is to lose weight, because that's what, all the fat people in this world, we got a lot of them. We have a problem because of all the shitty diet that people eat. And a lot of that's choice. A lot of that's, it is what it is. But if your goal is to like, I want to get healthy. Okay. I'll be honest, folks, going to the gym and burning yourself is not even most of it. It's like 10%. I would say, and I'm very sure on this, that if you just change your eating habits, and it's probably 80 to 90% of everything. If you just meat, veggies, fruit, be aware of what you're putting into your body. Don't eat anything that you can't pronounce, processed foods, sugars, all that shit. Get rid of it. No soda. Done. Just water, fucking rare steaks, chicken, broccolis, cauliflower, all that stuff. No fucking soybean shit, nothing. No soy anything. Especially for you dudes. No soy. If you just change your diet, I guarantee you will drop weight. You will feel better. It'll be hard as shit to transition from shitty food into healthier food because you got to taper yourself off, but be consistent a little bit at a time, Don't just be like, I'm cutting out everything today. And then you eat like well for a week or two. Then you're like, fuck it. Let's go get McDonald's. And that's what people do because you got to be realistic with yourself, folks. If you're in that state of mind and being where you are unhealthy, you're overweight, want to lose weight, and you just want to get better, you got to go. I found that slow is the way to go, man. You got to slowly start eating the chicken. You got to slowly start taking the broccoli. You have to slowly take away something, but replace it with something else. Okay. Be consistent. Like I cut out soda years ago, like 4 years ago. I just stopped drinking pop. And yeah, I occasionally have a little soda, but before, it was the couple of cans, 2-3 a day of that sugar, just fucking making me feel gross and all pudgy. Yeah, no good. It's good to have sugar. This is one thing I tell people that are just like, all right, fine, I'm going to cut out sugar completely. And I'm like, I have found if you get sugar from like a natural source, like a fruit, banana, fucking strawberries, berries, that's fine. I think you need a certain amount of sugar a day. Oh, I'm diabetic, man. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying in general. And if you have diabetes or something like that, it's probably because you did that to yourself. I'm sorry. It's true. But I believe you can reverse a lot of shit through just meat, veggies, and fruit. Just go back to the natural shit, man, and not organic, because organic is a ploy on your wallet and it's retarded. And people talk about pesticides. This is a theory I've had about pesticides. If you really want to get into just an off topic real quick, people are like, it's sprayed with so many pesticides. You just don't know, Matt. You're going to get cancer. You want organic because there's no pesticides. And I go, If that thing kills bugs and keeps them away and there's pesticides on that, I've always wondered, why doesn't it kill the fruit and vegetables? If that shit's so toxic, why doesn't it, like, why is the fruit and vegetable still grow around that? Like, how would it be able to grow if that's absorbed in the soil and stuff? I'm just shooting that out there. And then I'd be, oh well, man, that's not it. It's on the fruit, it sprays it. It's totally harmless for the food. I go, okay, well, if it's meant to kill bugs and keep them away, I've always wondered, why is it that the fruit and vegetables grow just fine? Well, it's in the soil and it's like, it's on there. You got to wash it off. I'm like, yeah, good. So you wash it off and I think you'll be fine. Don't get into that organic ploy, ladies. It's bullshit. Okay. And if you can grow your own food, do it. Gardens are great. If you can get just like in the backyard, pull out a nice cucumber, slice that up, it's right from your yard, then that's as organic as you can get. Anyway, that was a tangent. But the point about that tangent is just honestly, oh shit. I fucked up the whole stream. Oh, there we go. The point about that tangent though was to just let you know that, I believe diet, you just have to change that if you're worried about that. Just do that. I might make that a whole nother stream, I think. Maybe next week, eating healthy. How about that? I hate diets. I hate that fucking word, diet. It's bullshit. Eat. Everybody's got to have a label of stuff. I hate it. We'll talk about labels next week, too. Labels are diets. That's good. I'm writing this down because I am just fucking mad. So anyway, you have to be consistent, folks, even in your own life. It's not even just a show. And this is the thing about being consistent with other people. See, that's the difference between people pleasing and just being consistent in your word and your actions. Okay. Your word and your actions, if they go hand in hand, and people will see that and they'll notice it. True people who are really paying attention to you are going to notice, like, okay, well, I trust this person with my kids. I trust this person. What they say out of their mouth is truth and not bullshit. See, that's the other great thing about it. It's not just like being consistent with just obtaining a physical level or that, but it's mental, man. You'll be free in your mind if you do this stuff for you first, and then everyone else will see it. And then people will want to hang out with you. They'll want to talk to you. You'll be sociable. It'll be great. What does that have to do with being consistent? I'm like, everything. People, human beings, we're always trying to fit in with something, right? We're always trying to fit in with groups and other people, and it's like weird. And I've noticed, like, when you're a kid, you have a friend for life. You make friends as a kid, and then some of them are just like your friends their whole life, and then that's it. There it is. And you'll meet tons of people throughout your life, but if you got friends like me, I've got a couple of friends. A couple I've known for 30 years. And a few more I've known for over 20. It's like, that's it. Don't need super close friends, but I do value people. And I like meeting people and knowing, like, I've got internet friends. I've met people on the internet they just are awesome. Like, over the years, like, the more you see them and grow and talk, it's like, dude, you're just awesome. And it's like, it's great to know that they say that's a good benefit to the internet is being consistent on the internet has allowed me to meet other individuals, other YouTubers and things like that, where you realize they're great people, fucking great people with good souls. I like it. So just, and again, you adopt principles and stuff for yourself. And if you have a certain core value principles, you're going to be consistent in those. And it'll show based on your actions. And that's it. And if you can make your words and your actions go hand in hand as much as possible, you're on the right track. I know this from my own experience. So again, it starts off with something small. I'm going to be here at 1:00 and you're prone to being late. Practice not being late. You can start small. You got to start small, folks. Everybody jumps into the fucking pool, just cannonballs into the deep end. It's like, nope. You need to wade yourself in the shallow water, and you got to walk slowly into the deep end and then start treading water there, once your feet stop touching the ground. You can't just cannonball in when you don't know how to swim. You're going to fail. You will fail. And not in a good way where you actually learn something, in the way where you just go, fuck it, and then you just drop it all together. That's not the good type of failure. That's the not being honest with yourself type of failure, and just learning to take shit a little bit slower. And but there's some people that fucking granted on the other end can jump right in and just get it. Great. I was not one of these people. Excuse me. I was a slow learner, but there's my strengths have always been there. Like being on time has always been one of my strengths, right? I'm very punctual. On time at work. Even if I was drunk, I could show up at work on time. And it's like, again, principles. And but you can always work on your consistency in other areas, right? Again, whatever that is. If you're like, I think I might try out this new anything, man, and it doesn't go the way the idea you have right away, you can't just bail on it. You have to see it through, right? It's like joining a book club, and the book you're reading is like, and then like you go to like one book club and you read a chapter and you're just like, I don't know, and then you just toss the book aside. It's like, well, you committed. You might as well just see it through. You might learn something. You're just assuming you might not. By not, you gotta see it through. And again, man, just to form a new habit, you have to be consistent with what you're doing on your day-to-day. And it starts so small. If you have a problem with time, again, try being on time. Or better yet, if you're going to commit to something and you have a history of not committing, don't take the actions to commit to something you're not going to see through until you get to the point where you are ready. You obviously need working on something else. You have to work on something else to get to that point where you're willing to go see something through. Like there's something else going on. You got to be honest with yourself. Question your motives, see what you're at. Why are you doing it? What's your purpose? What is your objective, right? And again, it's different for everybody. And I know for myself, I had to be consistent with what I ate. I still am to this day. Let me tell you, when you slowly taper yourself off of the shit, dog, crap, fucking ho-hos and Twinkies and the McDonald's and the fast foods and the processed azobicarbamides and the plastics, and you just start eating meat and veggies again all the time, your body will know that, and it will stop wanting shit. Like, I used to eat noodles with butter and cottage cheese, pasta, right? It's an old Slovak thing. We just fry up noodles and you brown the butter, fry it up, and add a shit ton of cottage cheese to it, and that was meal. And I grew up on that as a kid. Love it. I still eat it to this day. But I used to eat it a lot, right? And I still think carbs are good. This whole thing, like, cut out carbs, it's like, ugh. See, everybody has that exact answer, which I don't agree with any of this health shit at all. And I'm not saying the exact answer is what I'm saying either. You have to do this for yourself. But what I am saying is stick with what's there. Meat, vegetables, fruit, nuts, berries, whatever, the natural shit. Figure out what your body likes and what it doesn't like. It'll tell you. And it's just like with the noodles and butter and cottage cheese stuff. I seriously only eat that now maybe 2 or 3 times a year, honestly. And that used to be 2 or 3 times a month at least forever. From when I was a kid through teenage years through early adulthood. I mean, that was my fucking meal. That was something I could whip up within 15 minutes. It was quick, easy, and it was filling, and it was delicious. And now I don't crave the pasta. I don't crave that insane amount of carbohydrates. I don't, or whatever it is. I just don't crave shit food. I mean, I get a taste for it. Again, I still have an Achilles heel. I still eat Doritos, which is like my one junk food that won't go away. I still go to McDonald's on occasion late at night when I'm super hungry and get a bunch of shit. And same shit happens every time after I eat it. I feel like shit. And it isn't satisfying. And it isn't good. But then when I eat my medium rare steak or my chicken, and it's just in butter and it's nothing else, and I still eat potatoes. I love potatoes, broccoli, shit like that. Wonderful. Peanut butter, natural peanut butter without all the chemicals. If you can spring for the good stuff, not just spring for good stuff if it is good stuff. But you got to make sure it's good stuff. It doesn't just say either organic. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit scam. And it's a ploy on your stupidity and your weak mind. And you get hooked, line, and sinker into it every time. Organic vegetables. I'm like, it's all organic. It grew, you fucking idiot. Pesticides, though, it's got the pesticides. And I'm like, you know what has worse things than the fruit that you get from and the vegetables from the market that you think is not organic? The Fruit Loops you eat, the Cheerios, the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, the Hostess anything, Doritos, all that shit has more chemicals in there that fuck with you than the pesticide things that are on your fruit. You give it a little wash, I think you'll be fine. Oh, that's not true, man. That's not consistency with the information that I found. I go, okay, fine. But if you pick up a box or a package of some food and you're thinking about buying it for something to eat, just look at the label. And if there's anything on there that you can't pronounce and you have no idea what the fuck it is, don't eat it. I can guarantee you'll feel better. Ha! Anyway, I'm going to talk about that next week, I think. It's a fun topic. Uh-oh. I lost the stream. Did I lose the stream? Uh-oh. Crap. Well, it's about time to go anyway. Half hour of ranting about consistency. So be consistent, folks. Whatever you do, you do. If you want to go to therapy because you fucking are depressed, go for several months before you figure out if therapy's working for you or not. Or just be honest with yourself and start looking at your own actions and behavior. It starts with you. It really does. It starts with you. Do what you can for you, and then go out there. All right. Everybody have a wonderful day. I will see you guys next Wednesday. And as always, don't take yourself too seriously.